I'm going to go ahead and get the fan blade cleaned up. I'm just going to wash it really good. This is just plastic, so you don't have to worry about corrosion. Just make sure when you wash it that you dry it off really, really well. You don't want any water or any moisture, especially being that this is the underside where the motor is actually at. You don't want any moisture to fall down into that motor. So, yeah, we'll just get this nicely cleaned up, and then we'll reinstall it. I went ahead and cleaned this up. I wasn't looking for the cleaning award of the year or anything else like that. I took a brush and tried to get some of this out. I just used some dish soap, and as you can see here, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you're a perfectionist, you could probably let this thing soak overnight in some hot water, dish soap, and so on, and then use a fine brush and get in between these fan blades. I just used a coarse brush and kind of went in between the fan blades, and not too bad. Like I said, it's fine. I'm not really worried about it at all. But anyway, so let this thing sit just a little while, and you can always tell when you've got enough oil. As you can see here from this hole, the oil is actually starting to move upward against gravity, and it's expanding. So I know that I have more than enough oil in the port, and basically this thing turns really nice now. I mean, it's exceptional. So basically what I'm going to do is just reinstall the fan blade. I've heard, or I was reading, some people actually put a little bit of grease on the inside or on the top of this to make it easier to get off a second time. But honestly, if you got it off the first time without any issues, or even if it was difficult, getting it off the second time, unless you go another 100,000 miles or 10 years or whatever before you pull this thing apart, honestly, it's going to be much easier to get off the second time than it is the first time. So I'm really not worried about that at all. Basically, you just find the groove, and you just gently. You don't want to, you don't want to do any of this. Just really gently. Basically what I do is I just rock it back and forth a little bit as I'm pushing down, and you can see here. That's about where it was. Actually, it could be a little bit. There we go. Got it. Alright. Just be gentle. Seriously, there's no reason for you to manhandle this thing. All you're going to do is risk breaking this, and then once you do so, well, you're probably going to need another one. Check for clearance. Make sure it's not too far down. You want to make sure it spins freely, that it's not, that the fan blades are not rubbing up against the plastic at the bottom. It's possible that could happen, but this thing is down as far as it'll possibly go inside this point here, and it's not hitting anything. So, and as you can see here, as I'm turning it, when it really picks up speed, I'll really notice it. A new fin, I had to replace this on my Yukon. I had a 95 Yukon, and I actually didn't really take the time to try to use the oil method. I don't even remember, honestly, if there was a port on the bottom, but it spun a little more freely than this, and it was brand new. But as you can see here, when I first pulled this apart and I turned it, it literally stopped as soon as, it was literally stop. There was no play in it whatsoever. Now you can see here that there's some, probably not as much as brand new. I don't know what a brand new one would look like when it's spinning freely, but that's much better than where it was before. So I'm pretty confident that this is actually going to work out pretty fine, or pretty good. So I'm just going to let this sit here for a couple of hours. I want to give the oil a chance to really work. Occasionally I'm going to come to it and just spin it a little bit to try to work up some more oil. I'm not adding any more oil. I'm done adding oil. It was about, I'd say probably a good 5-6 drops, and it was 2 minutes in between each drop on the top while I was spinning the shaft. Same for this, 5-6 drops, and I didn't just pour it in. You just want drops. Do not pour it in. Believe me, you're going to regret it. So anyway, this thing is ready. Like I said, I'm just going to let it sit here a couple of hours, spin it once in a while, make sure that everything's rotating fine, and then I will go ahead and go with the install. So check the next video for that.